Today I'll be talking about a fragrance from the house of Creed called Fleurs de Bulgarie, or Bulgarian flowers. As you can see, the box is slightly different from the modern version, which has some patterning on the outside, but this one is plain cardboard. But it has this little inscription from Olivier Creed, signed by him, and he also has the obligatory card. And I've checked the authenticity of it. All the indicators are that this is quite authentic, because the border of these two portrait-like imprints are raised, and it has this little inclusion in the packaging, and also all the obligatory markings, and of course the telltale insignia and other characteristics. So just to tell you that this is one of the simplest formulas I've ever encountered in my fragrance collecting, and this is actually my first Creed fragrance, so I will develop some impressions of this house by smelling this fragrance. And this has notes of bergamot at the top, followed by Bulgarian rose in the heart, and then drying down to ambergris, rose, and musks. And it was composed originally in 1845 for Queen Victoria, and was reissued in 1980, and of course I suppose reformulated at the same time. So right at the very top, I just sprayed some on here. It has this very bright and rather tart opening due to the bergamot, and then the rose sets in within 1 to 2 minutes, and it's a very plush, very rich and velvety Bulgarian rose smell, or some people call it bourbon rose, which is actually genetically modified rose, and it doesn't last for more than 20 minutes before it transitions into the ambergris heart. So it has this slight soapy, salty tone of the ambergris. I have actually worn this several times, so I know that after half an hour to 40 minutes it transitions into this slightly salty, slightly musky heart that is ambergris. And apparently, according to my research, it is very close to the smell of natural ambergris. So I'm hoping that this bottle was from the 1980s. It certainly looks so because it has a bit of yellowing, and also the font is consistent with it being issued in the 1980s. And then after about 3 to 4 hours of this musky, salty heart, it then transitions into the dry down, where the ambergris stays intact, and then it gets more and more musky and slightly animalic. So there's nothing really to recommend this fragrance in the department of complexity, because I prefer my fragrances to be complex, but apparently this is not that complex, but it is rather regal. And if the claims are to be believed, because as you know, Creed has some credibility problems with certain non-believers, including the authors of the Perfume guide, who write that some of their claims may actually be bogus because they can't be verified objectively. But be that as it may, this is a very regal smelling fragrance, and it is a bit on the feminine side, and not to be confused with another fragrance called Fleurs de Bulgarie, or if I'm not wrong, flowers of Bulgarian rose tea or something. The extra tea is there, and that one is super feminine, but I believe that this one can be worn by guys as well, so it is potentially a masculine scent. So for all the male Creed fans out there, this is one that straddles the border a little bit, but if you spray it on and stay in the house for half an hour to 40 minutes and then go out, then it is clearly unisex from then on, because the ambergris takes over and it is really quite lovely in the heart. Besides that, I have nothing much to say except that the perfume guide rates this as 3 stars, which is not bad considering their dislike of the Creed line. And having smelled things like Green Irish Tweed, which is very similar to Davidoff's Cool Water, and also watching comments on Milsim Imperial and also Royal Water, I believe that this is an overrated house. And if they do sell this size at the Creed boutique, I believe it is priced at around $240, but I managed to get this for $63, and it was unused, so it is a very good deal for me. And I guess I don't lose much, even though I don't really like this fragrance that much, and I don't find it that wearable except for formal occasions.